let's go review what functions are. So to do that, let's talk first about the concept of relations. So ano ang relations? So let A and B be non-empty sets. A relation R from A to B is any subset of A cross B or the Cartesian product between A and B. So ibig sabihin, ang relation, it's just a subset of this Cartesian product, A cross B. Okay. So this is the usual way that we introduce relation back in high school. So ito yung mas rigorous definition niya. Okay, so ano ibig sabihin nun? So we have the following marks. So, kasi pag iniisip ninyo relation, meron kayong element, may element kayo, A, coming from A. Okay, so si A, element siya ni capital A, pinapadala mo kay, well, ito yung parang iniisip mong function, pero ganyan din ang relation. A special type of relation ng function na aaralin natin mamaya. So, ito yung relation, meron kang element, kino-correspond siya dito sa B. So, in some sense, tinitreat mo na, or parang pwedeng isipin na tinitreat mo na parang ordered pair itong correspondence na to, or association. A, B. So, you can write it as A. So, yung R, you can treat it as a set. Kunyari, meron ka pa dyan C, D. So, yung C, comma D, it's another element. Si C, ina-associate mo kayo. Okay? So, ito yung mas rigorous definition na ng relation. So, ang R, it will be a set of ordered pairs A comma B for some A coming from capital A and for some small b coming in the element, small b coming from the element set capital. Now, the domain of R, simplified as dom of R, magpito, R dapat ito, is a set of all first coordinates in R, while the range of R, ang symbol natin dito ay range of R, is the set of all second coordinates in R. So, mamaya i-ano natin yon. Tawag dito, we will specify this with examples later on. Similarly, the range is also the set of all elements in B that are assigned to some element of A. So yun yung gusto ko i-specify later on. Kasi baka isipin ninyo, ang domain nito, si A, ang range, si B. It's not always the case. Ang range, pwedeng mas maliit siya kay B. Okay, kasi sabi lang daw dito, lahat ng mga elements na merong, lahat ng mga may elements sa B na ina-assign ng some element. So, kunyari, ang A mo, ang laman, A, B, C, D. Ang B mo ay E, F, G, H. Pero, si A, kay ilang lahat pumupunta. So, ito, ang range natin, si ilang. Itong F, G, H, hindi kasama. Kasi wala naka-associate sa kanya ni isang element na nanggagaling. Kaya ang tawag natin ito ay hindi range. This is called the codomain of R, oftentimes denoted by codon. So, ang tawag natin talaga dito, codon. Now, when A is equal to B, so pareho yung sets na to, we call R a relation on or over, or a relation on or over. So, yan lang siya. A relation can be described in terms of verbal statements, a set, a table of values, equations, inequalities, a graph, or a diagram. So um, we will encounter later on examples specifying ways on how we describe relation in this following scenario. So far, ito muna yung scenario natin na it's a set. Okay. So for example, consider the set, let A be the set containing 1, 2, and B containing A, comma, B. The following are examples of relations. Okay, so tingnan mo natin yung laman ng A cross B. Ano ba ang laman ng A cross B? So, 1, A, 1, B, 2, comma A, 2, comma B. So, ito ang laman ng A cross B. Now, here are examples of relations. So, ang relations, subset lamang siya ng A plus B. So, R1, 1, comma A, 2, comma B. So, kung itong dalawang elements na ito. Yan. R2, 1, comma A, 1, comma B. 1, comma A, 1, comma B. R3, 1, comma A, 2, comma A. R4, 1, comma A, 1, comma B, 2, comma A, 2, comma B. So, kinopya natin lahat to. So, remember, ang sarili niya, a set is a subset of itself. Okay? Okay. Moving on. So, I think kanina sets. Now, uh, we can also describe it via diagrams. Itong graph, mamaya ito, usually ang graph, lumalabas siya kapag yung A and B natin, infinite sets sila. Pero pag ganito, finite sets, a diagram suffices. So, tingnan natin yung R1. Ito yung R1 din. So, tingnan natin, 1, comma A, 2, comma B. So, 1, comma A, si 1, ina-associate mo kay A, si 2, ina-associate mo kay B. So, ito ang R1. Okay? So, ang domain ng R1, it's 1, 2. Ang range ng R1, A. Okay? Ito naman yung buong A, ito yung B. Ito yung set ng B. Ito yung set ng. How about R2? R2, 1, comma A, 1, comma B. So, 1, comma A, 1, comma B. So, ang range lang natin dito, domain natin, sorry, ang domain natin, 1 lang ang 1. Ang range natin, A, comma B. How about R3? Ang R3, 1, comma A, 2, comma A. So, 1 to A, 2 to A. So, ang domain natin, 1, 2. Ang range naman natin, A lamang. Yung B, hindi kasama. And finally, R4, si 1 related to A, 1 is related to B, 2 is related to A, 3 is related to A. So, ang domain natin dito, 1, 2, ang range natin, boom. Coincidentally, R4 is equal to plus 2. Okay? Now, ito yung mga iba't ibang uri ng relation na may impactan natin. Yung tinatawag na one-to-one relation. So, one element of A is assigned to one element B. Ngayon dito, ito one-to-many relation. One element is assigned to many elements in B. Many to one, many elements is assigned to one element. And finally, many to many. Okay? Yun ang many to many. So, in what follows, we will assume that ang gagalawan na nating domain and codomain is a set of real numbers. Hindi mga familiar na numbers na 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 5, the square root of 8, and so on. And we will describe relations by means of equations and equalities of graphs. So kanina, sets and diagrams ang ginamit natin in order to um, describe what a relation is. Again, yung relation, magamit tayo ng concept of equations, inequalities of graphs, para ma-describe ito. Kasi yun yung mas madaling paraan para ma-describe ito. And we'll only consider relations on time. We can sketch the graphs of relations on the what we call equation. Okay. Now we're ready to talk about what a function or what functions are. So a function f from A to B denoted by this notation, function A to B, is a relation such that for every A coming from capital A, there corresponds a unique small b coming from capital B. Okay, so parang ito naman, hindi na set yung pagkaka-identify sa kanya. Unlike yung relation, set yung pagkaka-define sa kanya. This time, parang ito na yung familiar function tayo na itsura. So, nevertheless, um, a function is still a relation. Alright? It's still a relation. So, ito ay isang set pa rin. It's a subset of A plus. Nagkataon lang na uh, may special notation na tayong ginagamit para sa kanya. So, there's an alternative definition of a function. A function f coming, whose um, from A to B is a relation such that every A is assigned to exactly one. So pareho lang po, there corresponds a B assigned to exactly one. Pareho lang po talaga. So a function is a relation such that no two different ordered pairs have the same first coordinates. Okay, so kuha kang dalawang ordered pairs, A. So kung may A na dito, bawal na maging A dito. Kasi otherwise, yung A, kung ito ay C, ito ay B, si A, pinapadala mo kay C, pinapadala mo rin. Ay, sorry. Si A, pinapadala mo kay C, pinapadala mo rin kay B. So, sabi dito, such that for every A, there corresponds a B. Isa lang dapat. Isa lang ang nagko-correspond sa kanya. Hindi, or exactly lang. Hindi pwedeng dalawa ang nagko-correspond. In that case, a function is either a many to one or a one to one relation. Yun yung identification natin. Kung pababatayan din yung constant relation, it's either many to one or one to one. So out yung one to many, tsaka many to one. Hindi sila included as functions. So, the first idea that we're going to learn in mathematics whenever we're given a new specimen is kailan equal ang dalawang pattern dito. Okay? So, ito yung first concept na ginagawa ng mga mathematics. Of course, ang una talagang ginagawa, does a function exist? Yun yun. So, kung magde-demonstrate ka na a function really exists. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Nag-exist siya, makabuo ka. Halimbawa, mamaya, mapakita niyo naman. Ito, x minus 1. So, ano? Nakapag-produce ka ng function. And then, once to show that it exists, usually, ang tinatanong mo sumusunod dito, um, when are two functions? So, the functions f and g are said to be equal if, number one, dalawang criteria na kailangan, conditions na kailangan natin satisfy. Domain of f is equal to domain of g. Number two, f of x equal to g of x for all x in the domain of f. Kasi sinabi natin domain of g na dito. So kahit ito yung domain of g. Okay. So dapat, ang sinasabi dito para sila ng domain, same time, na-satisfy nila ito. Sa bawat x na sinasubstitute natin sa kanila, pareho yung nakukuhang values ng f and g. Example, are the functions f of x equal to x minus 1 and g of x equal to x squared minus 1 over x plus 1 equal? Okay, so tingnan natin, ano ba domain ng f? Ang domain ng f is a set of all real numbers. Samantalang ang domain ng g, bawal maging 0 yung denominator mo. So x plus 1 cannot be equal to 0. So x can't be equal to negative 1. So it's the set of all real numbers except negative 1. So, pwede mo yun siya isulat in this notation. Negative infinity to negative 1, union negative 1 to positive infinity. Okay? So, pareho lang itong dalawang notations na ito. Kasi all real numbers except negative 1. Pag drinowin mo yan, I think negative 1, except negative 1. Okay. So it starts from negative infinity to negative 1, union, negative 1, to positive infinity. So clearly, dahil ang domains nila hindi pareho, they're not equal. Even with the fact that, kasi ito yung sa may tayo from high school, di ba pwede i-factor ito? X squared minus 1 is x minus 1 times x plus 1. So pwede mo i-cancel. So makuha mo x minus 1. Yes, it's true from high school. But, nagagawa mo ito i-cancel. Kasi meron tayong caveat dito or restriction that x cannot be equal to negative 1. Kasi kapag x mo ay negative 1, equal sa negative 1, you get here negative 1 plus 1, negative 1 plus 1. So that would be 0 over 0. And we cannot divide zeros. Divided by, or we can cancel out zeros. So, ito pa lang, yung may provision pa dito, ito yung isa sa mga na-invalidate agad na. Hindi na sila parang. So, ito, ginagawa natin ito, yung cancel out, kasi lalagay nito restriction na ito. Usually, we're, we're talking about algebra. Pag algebra yung nagawa natin, pwede lang ito kapag nilalagay nito provision ito. So, college na kasi tayo, kailangan, maingat tayo, naglalagay na tayo ng ganyan, mga statements bago tayo mag-cancel out. Where later on, pag nag-calculus tayo, kasi algebra, pag nag-calculus tayo, pwede may cancel to even without statements. And there's a reason behind that. Okay? Kung bakit pwede cancel without statements mo. Mamaya yun. Okay? Sa calculus part yun. Or so far, algebra muna. Okay. And the first operation that we're going to talk about, so kung equality na tayo ng dalawang functions, the first operation, so, di ba, pag nag-aaral tayo ng mga numbers, you have there 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Bawa. Ito yung equality. And now we're talking about operations. Now, the first one, it's not the usual operation that you encounter with numbers, pero you can say na it's mm, it's intrinsic for functions. Today may ganitong operation. Yung evaluating functions. So, isipin yung operation talaga. So, yeah, you can think of it as an operation. So, let f be a function from x to y. Evaluating a function means finding the value of y that corresponds to a given value of x. That is, magpo-plug in ka ng value ng x, i-evaluate mo siya under f, e makuha kang value. Evaluation. We just formalize what it is. So an element x coming from the domain of f is also called an independent variable, a pre-image of y under f, an abscissa, or an x coordinate. Now, the usual, ang ginagamit natin talaga terms usually independent variable, pre-image, x coordinate. We rarely use abscissa. An element y in the range of f is also called a dependent variable. The image of x under f, an ordinate, or an y coordinate. So, yes, correctly, we rarely use the term an ordinate as well. We usually use dependent, image, y coordinate. Okay, so, ano, so let's have the following example. Suppose x and y are both the set of variables. Let f be a function from x to y. So function from x, I think x now, right? Where x is in x is paired with x squared. Okay, y is equal. So ito yung social na way ng pagsusulat ng function. X squared. At ibig sabihin lang yan ng ganyan ng very sophisticated way of writing a function is f of x is equal to x squared, or pwede mo isulat as y is equal to x. Para-pareho lang yung tatlong yan. At a very sophisticated way of writing a function. So, ano ibig sabihin ba? So, if you have your x, so itong y is equal to x squared is the same as f of x equal to x squared. So, if x is 1, you get here 1 squared, which is 1. And this is 3 squared, 9. Negative 1 squared is equal to 1. 1 half squared is 1 squared over 2 squared. So 1 fourth. Now, before we go to other operations, let's talk about the concept of a dividend. Now, we consider real valued functions of a single variable. It's a mouthful term. So, ano na ito? Himay-himay natin. So, ayan. Real valued functions of a single variable. Unahin natin itong part na ito. Functions of a single variable. Ito yung f of x. Single variable. At isang variable lang. Real valued function. Real valued in y. Ibig sabihin, kapag nag-substitute ka or nag-plug in ka ng real number x, a single real number, makakuha ka ng isang real number y. Kaya mahaba lang yung term natin, real valued functions. Ito yung y of a single variable x. That is, whose codomain is R, and domain and range are subsets of. So notice here yung domain natin, not necessarily, no? Subset lang siya nito. Now, if the domain of a function is not specified, we take it to be the largest subset of R, where f of x is defined. Ano ibig sabihin ng f of x is defined? Ibig sabihin, pag tinawag ko si x, kumuha ko ng number x, in-evaluate ko siya under f, dapat ang makuha ko, real number pa rin. Okay? Now, ano yung mga iniiwasan natin magbibigay sa atin ng undefined? Kasi yan ang defined. So ano ang undefined? Usually, ito ang giveaway para malaman defined. Denominators should not be zero, and radicands of radicals with even index must be non-negative. Okay? Again, it's under mouthful. Radicand, ito yun. Radicand or radicals, ang radicals ito. Radicand, yung number dito. Okay? Ay, but sorry. Radicals, ito pala. Radicand itong nasa loob. Radicand. Radicand pala. So, with even index. So, ito yung index. Index, radical, radical. Mhm. Sinasabi doon, kapag even index, square root, fourth root, sixth root, basta even index, or 1 power, para lang yun sa square root, eighth root, dapat yung radical sa loob natin, non-negative. Not necessarily positive, non-negative dapat. Okay? So, ano ibig sabihin ng non-negative ulit? So, ito ang zero, lahat ng numbers na nandito sa right na positive. Pero kapag kasama yung zero, non-negative. So, yung nandito, negative. Pero pag kasama yung zero, non-positive. We only usually use terms negative, positive, and non-negative. Okay? So, usually kasi ito yung naglalamang dalawa, positive tsaka non-negative. So, just be careful kung kasama si zero or kung kasama si zero, no, negative. Pag hindi kasama si zero, positive. Okay? Para inclusive tayo. Okay? So, for example, f of x equal to square root of x minus 1. Ano ang domain natin? So, ang domain natin, dapat yung x minus 1 has to be greater than or equal to 0. So, malalaman natin yung domain yan. X is greater than or equal to 1. Yun yung inequality notation for the domain. Or, graphical notation ng domain, drawing yung number line, ito yung 1. Tapos, si 1, kasi may equal sign ka dito, shaded siya. And then, lahat ng x na mas malaki 1. So, papunta rito sa direction na to. Ito yung domain natin. So there's a graphical notation. Ano yung set notation? You just copy this one here. Set of all real numbers such that x is greater than or equal to 1. So parang related itong dalawang to. So siya lang siya. Pero usually, ang ginagamit natin, it's either itong tatlong to, itong tatlong ginagamit usually. So, sinasabi, pare-pareho lang. Tatlong to. So, ang interval notation naman natin, it would be 1 to positive infinity 1 into 1. So, it depends on the, usually, pag meron kang um, domain problem, ganito yung una yung may encounter na problem, na solution. Isusunod nyo to. And then, isunod nyo itong notation na to hanggang makuha nyo itong notation. So, usually, ito yung end goal natin na notation. Ito yung end goal ng notation. Pero, to arrive here, we usually start here, followed by this one. Minsan, nag-jump, hindi na ito sinasama, nag-jump here. Pero ito yung dalawang crucial steps para makuha ito or ito. Okay? So, the next concept, dahil meron tayong concept ng domain, we can now talk about the concept of a graph of a function. Now, a graph of a function is very useful to identify whether a relation is a function or not. So, the graph of a function f from R to R is a set of points x comma f of x in R cross R, where x is in the domain of f. Okay, again, very formal definition niya. Sinasabi lang niya, it's the set of x and y, mga points lang ito, x comma y, sa kung saan yung x nasa domain f. Kumbaga, si y dito, sure tayo may image siya, or may pre-image siya, f of x, yung x yon. So, may pinipair ka ng points. So, pag kinolekta ko lahat yon, kasi kunyari ito, 1, f of 1, 2, f of 2. Pag kinolek ko lahat ng mga points na yan, makukuha natin yung graph ng function natin, yung collection of points. So, dahil collection siya, pwede mo pa siyang i-graph. Okay? Okay. So, sorry about that. Kung nag-jump yung recording natin. Okay, so Um, ano ang silbi ng graph? So pag nag-graph natin, kasi meron na tayong mga marami na tayong mga set of points. So you can collect them all those points and makakagawa ka nung tinatawag na Cartesian plane. So ito yung horizontal line natin, yan yung x-axis, ito yung y-axis. So kunyari itong x mo 1, ito ay 2. So ito si 1, ito yung 2. Ito yung point na yun. So you have another point, 3, 4, 3, 4, and this. And then you collect all those points, i-connect mo silang lahat. Then makukuha kang graph. So, ano yung silbi ng graph? Helpful ang graph kasi a non-empty subset G of the Cartesian plane is the graph of a function if and only if every vertical line intersects G in at most one point. Okay, ano sinasabi niya? Um, hindi lang function ang may graph, kahit relation, may graph din. Baka isipin niyo, ito ba yung graph? Ito, yung nakita. Hindi ito yung graph. Diagram yan. Okay, diagram yan. Kasi wala ka namang x-axis and y-axis dito eh. Hindi man x-axis, y-axis yan. So, dito, kung isipin mo, pag graph mo, so di ba ang relation, set din yan. So, pag graph mo lahat ng points na, dapat pag nag-vertical line test ka raw, nagpadaan ka ng maraming vertical line. Halimbawa, ganito yung itsura ng graph mo. Nagpadaan ka ng maraming vertical lines. Dapat, tatama lang yung mga vertical lines mo in at most one point. Okay? Pero, kapag ito yung graph halimbawa ng relation mo, nagpadaan ka ng line dyan, dalawa yung tinamaang points. So, the relation is not a function. So, ang sinasabi na nitong vertical line test, if every vertical line intersects the graph of a relation on R in at most one point, then the relation is a function. Okay? So, ito na yung technique na gagamitin kasi natin para malaman kung, kasi di ba ang relation, ang function ng many to one or one to one. Now, it is inefficient or not efficient kung isulat mo ito using set notation. Tapos titignan mo kung may mauulit na x coordinate. Kasi pag may naulit na x coordinate, hindi na function. Okay? Parang may 1, 3, 1, 8. So yung 1, it goes to 3 and it goes to 8. So 1 to many na siya. Right? Pero what if infinite yung set mo dito? So ang isa na sa magandang way para ma-identify kung ang relation mo ay function. We now use graphs. At yung graph, gagamit tayo ng vertical lines para ma-determine kung function siya o hindi siya. So, bawa, identify which of the following relation is a function. So, yung una, set of all x comma y in R2. O R2 nga pala ay R cross R. Parang ano, kasi nagta-times, no? Parang 2 times 2 is equal to 2 square. Ay, bakit na? 4 times 4 is equal to 4 square. Ayan. R square. More on this, we go to Math 84. So, which of the following relation is a function? So, y, huwag kayo mabagabag. Ano lang to? Very neat way of writing a function lang siya. Y is equal to x squared. Anong y is equal to x squared? Y is equal to x squared. That is none other than f of x. Oh, well, I assume the function siya agad. So, yung relation muna. Relation y is equal to x squared. X is associated to x squared. So, ito yung graph. Ito-graph mo lang siya. Ano ba graph ng y is equal to x squared? It's the familiar parabola. Okay? Parabola. So, pag may parabola ka, ang titingnan mo naman dito, usually, uh, x-intercept, y-intercept. Ay, wala pa pala tayo doon. Mamaya pa yun. Pero pag may parabola ka, usually, ang titingnan mo kung it opens up. Yung mga properties na to, opens up, opens down, opens left, opens right. Okay? So, ito, it opens upward. Okay? Wala pa tayo sa concept ng mga x-intercept, y-intercept na yan. Mamaya pa pala yun. I-define natin rin yun. So, it opens upward. So, nevertheless, ito yung graph niya. Tapos, pag nagpadaan ka ng maraming vertical lines, kahit anong vertical line, notice, it will only hit the graph at exactly 1 point. So, dito rin, 1 point lang yan. Ito, 1 point lang. So, dahil nasatisfy niya ang vertical line test, this one is a function. Okay? Okay, sorry again about that jump in most recording. So, next, um, let's look at this problem here. Set of all real numbers in R2 such that x is equal to y squared. So, x is equal to y squared, ano ba ang graph nito? Ang graph nito, it's again a parabola, but a parabola that opens to the right. So, pag nagpadaan ka ngayon ng vertical line test, or nagpadaan ka ng vertical line, in this part of your parabola, mapapansin mo, dalawa yung mahatamaan natin. And so this one here is not a function. Sugat number 3. Set of all real numbers such that y is equal to the absolute value of x. So, ano ba ang graph ng absolute value of x? Ito yung familiar na letter V, no? Familiar letter V. More on this later on. Familiar letter V. Tapos, ganun ulit, pag it opens up. Medyo may relationship siya with the parabola. It opens upward. And pag nagpadaan ka ng mga vertical lines, notice, it will only hit at exactly 1 point. So, ito ay function. So, this one is, yes, it's a function. However, ang x equal to absolute value of y, ganito naman itsura ng function natin. Sorry, ng relation natin. X is equal to the absolute value of y. Pag nagpadaan ka ng vertical line, may dalawang points na mga tama. In particular, kapag ang ano mo, no, ang x mo ay equal sa, uh, ang y mo ay equal sa 2, tsaka negative 2. Ang sagot dito, 2, ang it's 2. So, ito yung x mo. Ito yung y mo. So, x2 is associated to 2 tsaka sa negative 2. Ayun yun na. 2 is associated to 2 and negative 2. So, hindi na siya function. So, kapag may graph, so sundan niyo yung, ano, yung flow of thought dito. Ang simula tayo sa concept na equality, followed by, after equality, evaluation of a function, which mag-evaluate. Sumunod yung concept ng domain. Pagkatapos ng concept ng domain, concept ng graph. So pag may graph ka, may tinatawag concepts. Okay, so yun yung, kumbaga, pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga concepts na ito. Usually sa exam, ganyan din yung style. Sunod-sunod yung mga concepts na ito. Okay, kumbaga, one is born out of the other. One is born out from the other. So, may graph na tayo. We can talk about what we call the intercepts of the graph of function. Ano mo ba mga intercepts? There are two types, the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Let's talk about first yung y-intercept. If zero is in the domain of f, importante itong hypothesis na ito, zero is in the domain of f, then the y-intercept of the graph of f is given by f of 0. Okay? Kasi hindi lahat ng function may y-intercept. Bawa, pag ang function mo 1 over x. Ang sinasabi daw dito, pag hinahanap ang y-intercept, i-set mong 0 yung x. So y is equal to 1 over 0. So bawal mag-0 yung x, di ba? So ano ibig sabihin yan? Y-intercept, ibig sabihin pag may function ka, ito yung y-intercept. Nagko-correspond siya to a intersection ng graph at no y-axis. Okay? So y-intercept, ini-intercept mo ang y-axis. Now, the zeros of f are the values of x in the domain of f for which f of x is equal to 0. So, social na way pagkasabi na the zeros of f, pwede rin sabihin the roots of f are the values of x for which f of x is equal to 0. This time, ang sinaset mong 0 si y. Dito si x ang 0. So, the x-intercepts of the graph of f are the zeros of f. So, para-pareho lang yung mga terminologies na yan. X-intercepts, zeros, tsaka roots. Pero zeros, kasi this time, nag-ano siya, kumbaga, hinahanap natin kung saan siya nag-intercept with the x-axis. So, kung nag-intercept sa x-axis, kung saan yung, kung saan yung mga y mo 0. Kasi bakit y mo 0? Kasi kung nasa x-axis ka, ano ba coordinate dito? Kunyari, ito ay A. Ano y coordinate? 0. Kaya 0, y. Dito naman, kung itong y na to ay b, ito ay 0, b. 0 yung x mo. That's why f of 0. Okay? So let's have the following example. Find the intercepts of y equal to x squared minus 5 times 6. So we have two solutions. I think mga technique natin. Y-intercept, kung natin y-intercept, iset natin ng 0 yung y. Ay, sorry, 0 yung x. So we get here, y is equal to 0 squared minus 5 times 0 plus 6. So mag-0 to, we get 6. So we have the point 0,6. Ayan. So, bahala kayo kung paano yung isulat. Ito yung x, no? X equal to 0. Ayun siya. Tapos itong 6 na to. Paano naman yung y x-intercept? Ang x-intercept,
y is equal to 0. So x squared minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. So we factor it x minus 3 times x minus 3 is equal to 0. So we get x minus 3 is equal to 0 or x minus 3 is equal to 0. So we obtain x is equal to 3, 3 comma 0, x is equal to 2, 2 comma 0. By the way, this technique only works. Ito ha, kunyari may itong technique na ito, itong may or na ito. X minus 3 is equal, x minus 3 is equal to 0, or x minus 3 is equal to 0. It's because of the theorem A times B is equal to 0 implies A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. Hindi mag-hold dito kung ito yung ibang number. Kunyari, A, B is equal to 1, hindi ibig sabihin A is equal to 1 or B is equal to 1. Okay? B is equal to 1. Hindi yan totoo. Kasi pwedeng A is equal to negative 1 or B is equal to negative 1. A is equal to 1 half. B is equal to 2. 1 half 2. Ito lamang. So, kung may number dito, halimbawa, 6. So, x squared minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 6. Cancel mo tayo. Or nilipat mo yung 6 sa kapila. X squared minus 5x plus 6 minus 6 equal to 0. So you get x squared minus 5x equal to 0. Dito ka lang tayo pwede mag-factor. Factor out yung x. X times x minus 5 is equal to 0. So you get x is equal to 0 or x minus 5 is equal to 0. X equal to 0 or x is equal to 5. Okay? 0 lang dapat ang nandito ha. On the other hand, find the intercepts. So ito pala yung ano natin. X-intercepts 3, 0 and 2, 0. Now, find the intercepts of y equal to x cubed minus x squared plus 4x minus 4. Now, the y-intercept is easy. Just set x to be 0, so 0 cubed minus 0 squared plus 4 times 0 minus 4. So magka-cancel out na. So you get negative 4. So you get 0, negative 4. On the other hand, ano naman ang y-intercept? Ang x-intercept rather. Ang x-intercept, 0 ang y. So we get x cubed minus x squared plus 4x minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, so how do we attack this problem? Nakatulad dito. So dito kasi pwede tayong mag-factor or pwede ka gumamit ng quadratic formula. If you remember quadratic formula, yung negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Ito, it's now a cubic function. So how are we going to attack this? Wala na tayong cubic formula. Well, there it's one. Pero yan, if tutuloy dito, may cubic formula. And what else? Kung may cubic formula, kung hindi na magagamit yung cubic formula, but how are we going to attack? So, let's recall some techniques from high school, yung tinatawag na rational theorem. So, this is an alternative solution pag hindi natin magamit yung factoring technique or wala tayong magamit na quadratic formula and alternative. So, yung rational root theorem. Ano ang rational root theorem? So, we specify the um, factors that divides the what do you call this one? The constant number and the leading coefficient. Okay? Ito yung P, ito yung Q. So, ano ang mga numbers na pwedeng mag-divide kay P? Basically, ang sinasabi niya, uh, tama, divisors ni P. So, kung 4, ano yung mga pwedeng mag-divide sa kanya? Plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 4. Hindi pa nga pwede mag-divide sa kanya. Dito naman sa Q, ano yung mga pwede mag-divide kay 1? It's only either plus or minus 1. So we now get P over Q. Ano yung P over Q? Plus or minus 1 over plus or minus 1, we get plus or minus 1. Plus or minus 2 over plus or minus 1, we get plus or minus 2. plus or minus 4 over plus or minus 1, we get plus or minus 4. So, testing tayo. So, rational group theorem, kuha tayo ng mga possible natin, candidates, unahin natin si negative 1. So, kung negative 1 to, negative 1, ano ba yung, what do you call this one? Coefficients natin. 1, negative 1, 4, negative 4. So, 1, negative 1, 4, negative 4. So, bring down 1. 1 times negative 1, negative 1, negative 1 plus negative 1, negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 1, we get positive 2. 4 plus 2, 6. 6 times negative 1, negative 6. Negative 4 plus negative 6, negative 10. So, hindi siya nag-0. Dapat 0. Okay, so out na yung negative 1. Let's try 1. 1 naman ito. Kung 1, copyhin ulit. 1, negative 1, 4, negative 4. But si 1, 1 times 1, 1. Negative 1 times 1, 0. 0 times 1, 0. 4 plus 0, 4. 4 times 1, positive 4. Negative 4 plus 4, 0. So ito, nag-0 siya. So ito yung may factor na tayo. By the way, dito nagmo-multiply. Tapos, instead of dividing, nag-add tayo. Instead of subtracting, nag-add tayo. So, ito yung synthetic division. So, meron tayong factor na kita. 1, which corresponds to x minus 1. Okay? O, hindi x plus 1 yan nag-correspond itong 1 sa x minus 1. Ito naman, mag-correspond siya sa, so dahil cubic ito, power 3, power 2, power 1, power 0, bababa yung power dito. Power 2, power 1, power 0. So ito, x minus 1 multiplied by x squared. So ito yung 1, 1x squared, 1x squared plus 0x plus 4. Or x to the power 0. Parang isipin mo, kasi bumababa yung power. 1x squared plus 0x to the power 1 plus 4x to the power 0. Ang x to the power 0 ay 1. Ito naman, 0 plus 0 times x. So x squared plus 4. So we get x minus 1. Ang factorization niya x minus 1 times x squared plus 4 is equal to 0. So we can now use a times b is equal to 0. So we get x minus 1 is equal to 0 or x squared plus 4 is equal to 0. So we get x is equal to 1. Tapos ito sa part ito, may simple technique dito. Kapag meron kayong of the form x squared plus a squared is equal to 0, pwede mo ilipat sa kabila. Ay, di ka na mag-factor. Pag ano lang, ganito itsura. Plus a constant. Wala kayong x squared plus 5x plus 6. Wala kayong nasa gitnang term. So we get x squared is equal to negative 4. Then we square root it. So may kumakuha x is equal to plus or minus. Plus or minus kasi, plus or minus is square root of negative 4. Ano bang square root of negative 4? Plus or minus 2. So, dahil ang 2 ay hindi real number, output, wala itong, pag wala kang makukuhang x-intercept dito. So, walang x-intercept, ano yan? No x-intercept, no roots, no zeros. Similarly, ang sinasabi rin ito, not factorable. Para-pareho yung atong mga to. Not factorable, walang x-intercept, walang roots, walang zeros. So, isa lang ang x-intercept natin. 1, 0. Now, medyo parang ang dami itong ideas to. Pero, that's the idea. 1, 0 is the only x-intercept. So, may y-intercept tayo, which is 0, negative. Ang x-intercept natin, 1, 0. So, this is one way on how to attack this problem. Another way to attack this problem is kung kapag higher powers na, hindi na power 3 or 3 and so on. Kung kaya siya na tinatawag na factor by 3. So what we can do here is, we can group x cubed and x squared together and 4x and negative 4. Tapos, sa x cubed minus x squared, we can factor x squared. Dito naman, we can factor 4. So we get x squared times x minus 1 plus 4 times x minus 1. So ito yung x squared times a plus 4a. Ito yung a natin. So we can factor out a. A times x squared is 4. So a times x squared plus 4. Pero ano ba yung a is x minus 1? So we arrive at the same scenario. A times b is equal to 0. So a is equal to 0 or b is equal to 0. So we get the same pattern, x equal to 1 or x equal to plus or minus 2y. So isa lang x-intercept, 1, 0. So this, if you still remember factor it by quickly, you can rely on this one. Factor it by. Okay? Okay, so nakita natin may plus or minus 2y. So kung naalala, ano ba itong plus or minus 2y? Bakit hindi lang plus 2 ay bakit may minus pa? Let's recall the idea from high school. Paano or kailan naglalagay ng plus or minus? So, kunyari, inambush kayo sa kalsada or ano kayo, inambush kayo, hold up to. Pero parang hindi ka ma-hold up, kailangan mo sagutin yung tanong na to. Pag tinanong itong tanong sa inyo, what is x squared is equal to 4? Ito yung question. Meron kang variable dito, may number ka dito. Ang sagot, x is equal to plus or minus, so kukunin mo yung square root of both sides. Pag kinuha mo yung square root of both sides, not only that you have to write plus or minus, well, hindi mo lang siya ilalagay ng square, talagyan mo pa siya ng plus or minus. So, ang sagot, plus or minus 2. Kasi dalawa ang pwede mo maging sagot dito. Positive 2 squared is equal to 4. Negative 2 squared is equal to 4. Dalawang possible answer. Pero pag hinold up ka, tinanong sa'yo what is square root of 4, walang x na nakalagay dito. X is equal to square root of 4. Ang sagot lang, square root of 4 is equal to positive. Principal square root ang tawag doon, yung positive po. So, yun yung difference. Pag tinanong lang sila, pag ito yung ganito yung tanong, x squared is equal to 4, dalawa yung sagot. Pero pag wala ka ditong, ano lang no, square root of 4, yun lang. 2 lang. Kumbaga ito, meron kang is equal, meron ka dito, what do you call this one? Meron kang verb part. Meron kang subject, verb, object. Ito yung, actually, hindi nga siya object. But we are not going to delve deeply sa mga terminologies ng sa mga grammar na yan. Okay. So, isipin mo na lang ano siya, subject, verb, object. Ito yung subject, ito yung verb, ito yung object. Dito, phrase lang yan. Ito sentence talaga. Kasi square to four has no verb. So, square to four is just a phrasal expression. Phrase lang talaga siya. So, ibibigay mo lang. Principal square. So, yun yung difference. Okay? So, kaya katulad dito, ang meron ka, x squared is equal to negative 4. So, you get square to both sides. Talaga mo ng plus or minus. Okay? Okay. Now, pag may graph tayo, we can talk about graph transformations. So, ano ba ang mga graph transformations? So, pag may may mga techniques tayo para mag-graph transform. Ito yung mga usual graph transformation na ma-encounter natin. So, y is equal to f of x plus k. So, don't worry about kung ano yung nakalagay dito. Okay? Ang sinasabi lang nito, pag naglagay ka ng plus k sa labas ng function, yung graph mo, it's either you shift it k units upward, okay, upward, positive ito, kunyari plus 5, or pag negative, kunyari negative 1, k, 1 unit downward. Okay? So, 1 unit downward to. So, aakyat siya or pababa siya. Halimbawa, y is equal to x squared. Pag y is equal to x squared, ang graph ng y is equal to x squared, yung familiar tayo, yung parabola, no? So, y is equal to x squared plus 1, aangat itong part na to, itong vertex sa taas na to. So, we'll talk about the vertex later on. Aangat siya. Pero kapag y is equal to x squared minus 1, bababa naman itong point. So usually, kapag mga vertical shift or translation, kailangan mo lang, may i-observe ka lang ng mga particular points. Yun yung mga, ang end goal kasi natin dito is to study basic functions, yung mga x squared, x cubed, and later on, papasok tayo sa mga sine function, cosine function. Usually, itong mga function na ito, at pati mga square of x. Itong mga functions na to, ito yung mga usual na pag-aaralan natin. And i-apply natin itong mga vertical shift na ito. Ano nangyayari pag nag-shift? At ano nangyayari sa domain? Circle sila. Pag nag-shift tayo ngayon. Okay? Now, horizontal shift or translation. We have here y is equal to f of x plus h. Now, for now, plus muna yung nakalagay dito. But sa mga usual textbooks, minus talaga ginagamit. Now, bakit plus muna? Para imimimik niya muna to. Now, if h here is positive, ito yung weird, no? Dito, pag k mo positive, going up. Pag k mo negative, going down. Makes sense. Dito, kapag h mo positive, to the left. Pag h mo negative, to the right. Okay? Now, a good way kaya minus yung ginagamit dito. Uh, pag minus yung nakikita nyo, fx minus h. Pag h ay positive, to the right. Pag minus h siya, pag h negative, to the left. Contrary dito, no? Bakit? Kasi pwede mo siya isulat as x minus negative h. So pareho lang siya dun sa kanina sa x minus h. If h here is positive, so makukuha mo x minus minus positive. Okay? X minus minus positive. Kunyari x minus negative 3. So maging x plus 3 siya. Ano, wala ako dun. Kunyari, ito na lang. Pag x minus h ito, x minus h here is, kunyari, f of x minus 3. Pag ganito yung notation, or f of x plus 3, ganyan. Isulat mo siya as x minus negative 3. So this means yung negative 3 dito, it moves 3 units to the left. Pero kapag f of x minus 3, pareho lang yan sa f of x minus plus 3. So 3 units to the right. Okay? So dito ganun din yun, minus negative h. Okay, so kung h mo positive, negative 3, you move 3 units. Pero kapag negative to, negative 6. I think negative. Kasi positive ito ngayon. So, 6 units. Siguro sa ngayon, negative na lang ito. Kung negative ito, magbabalik lang yan. So, kung negative. If H is positive, right? Para make sense, no? H is positive, right? Pag H mo, negative na. Unlike dito na, so kapag Y is equal to x minus 3 squared plus 1, ang relationship sa parabola, ito, y is equal to x squared plus 1. Aangat mo na yung parabola. Aangat siya pa gano'n. X squared plus 1. Tapos x minus 3 squared, magmumove siya 3 units to the right. So mamaya may example tayo movement. Now, reflection, y is equal to negative f of x. We reflect the graph of y is equal to f of x in the x-axis. So, kunyari, ano to, ang y mo originally, kunyari, f of 1, nakuha mo tayo dito 1. So, kapag dinegate mo yan, f of 1, may negative 1. So, yung value lang ni 1 kanina, ito si 1, ang original value niya 1. Ngayon, negative 1. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng mga points na nasa taas ng x-axis, ilalagay mo lang sa ilalim. Okay? Ilalim ng x-axis. On the other hand, kapag in-absolute value mo naman, lahat ng mga nasa ilalim ni x-axis, itataas mo sa x-axis naman. So parang opposite, ito yung opposite operation. No? Parang, you can also imagine graph transformation as operations. Yan natin siya tinawag na gano'n. So ito, ninenegate mo lang, nilalagay mo sa ilalim. Ito, inilalagay mo sa taas. And then we have yung vertical stretching. Vertical stretching and compressing. So this time, kanina naka-add sa labas. Dito ngayon, naka-multiply a times f of x. So kapag ang a mo kunyari greater than 1, we're vertically stretching the graph of y by multiplying each y value by a, capital A. So, ibig sabihin nun, so, kunyari, meron kang y is equal to x squared. So, ito yung 1. Ang image ng 1 ay 1. So, what happens to y is equal to 2x squared or 4x squared? So, yung 1, i-map mo na siya sa 4. Paano yung 0? 0 dito, 0 squared. 4 times 0 squared, ay yung pa rin. So, ano nangyayari? Ito yung nakukuha mong bagong graph. So, pag nangyayari, a is greater than 1, ito yun, a is greater than 1, nangyayari parang, ini-stretch mo siya ng mas, parang, mas lumalapit ka sa y-axis ngayon. Ini-stretch mo. On the other hand, kapag a is between 0 and 1, same example, pero this time it's, say, 1 half x squared. Kung ito yung 1, ito yung 1. Ngayon, ang bago niyang value, 1 half na. Ito yung 1. Ay, sorry. Ito yung 1. Ito yung value niya. 1. Ito yung original value niya. Pero ngayon, ang bago niya ng y value, 1. Ito. So, nangyayari, yung 0 dito pa rin naman, di ba? 0 squared, ito yun. 1 half times 0 squared. Ito rin. So, you get this. Parang naka-flatten naman siya. Ino-compress mo pa. So, yung isa, kapag greater than 1, ino-compress mo pa, ini-stretch mo pataas. Ito naman, kapag between 0 and 1, ino-compress mo pa. Now, you might ask, bakit walang horizontal stretch? Mamaya pa yun. Babalikan natin yung horizontal stretching na yun. So let's look at this following example. So ito, vertical translation, for example, ito yung f of x natin. F of x plus 2 yung green. So, titingnan mo lang usually, kaya dito importante yung mga x-intercepts. X-intercept, y-intercept. Tapos kapag may parabola ka, vertex. So, just observe those special points. So, meron ka ditong x-intercept. Saan pupunta tong x-intercept na to? So, 0, 0. Kasi kapag vertical translation, ang affected yung y coordinate. Kasi y to, y plus 2. So, 0 plus 2. Dito naman, 0 minus 2. Bababa. On the other hand, dito, x plus 2. Sino naman ang naapektuhan? Yung x sa loob. So, yung dito ang naapektuhan, kung 0, 0 ito, ang naapektuhan yung x coordinate. So, kung plus 2, iyan ay x minus negative 2. Uusog siya, 0, 0 minus 2, 0. So, we get negative 2, 0. Negative 2, 0. Dito naman, x minus 2. Magiging, eto, 0, 0. Magiging 2, 0. Uusog siya doon. And then you have here reflection. So, nagiging negative. Babaliktad lang ito. How about vertical stretch and compression? Ito yung nakita natin kanina. So, original natin, ito, absolute value, halimbawa, 2 times absolute value. So, absolute value of x. Now, pag absolute value, kapag ano na, vertical stretch or compression, hindi na useful tingnan yung mga intercepts. Kasi nakita niyo, di ba, pag intercepts, they just remain stationary lang sila. So, kukuha tayo ng ibang sample points. Halimbawa, 2. So, pag 2, absolute value, y is equal to 2 times absolute value. Sorry. Y is equal to absolute 2. So yan ay 2. Absolute value of 2 is 2. So 2 is 2. Diba? Pero kapag nag-multiply ka ng 2, saan na siya pupunta? Sa 4. 2 times 2, 4. So ayun ulit, nakikita nyo na parang lumalapit siya sa y-axis. Parang pag greater than 1 to, lumalapit siya sa y-axis. Pero kapag between 0 and 1, 1 half halimbawa, yung 2 ngayon, pupunta siya sa 2 times 1, absolute value of 2 times 1. We get 2, 1. Itong point na to. So parang nasa-flatten siya. Lumalapit naman siya ngayon sa x-axis. Like, kinocompress mo siya papuntang x-axis. Ito, ini-stretch mo papuntang y-axis. Although the two terms are interchangeable, pwede mo i-kinocompress papunta sa y-axis, ini-stretch papunta sa x-axis. Either way, basta alam mo kung saan yung direction niya papunta. Mapa y-axis or mapa x-axis, yun yung mas importante. And finally, tingnan natin yung absolute value. Absolute value of f of x. Halimbawa ito, y is equal to x squared minus 2. So, lahat ng nasa ilalim ng x-axis, itataas ko. Kasi ibig sabihin, y is equal to x squared minus 2. Halimbawa, 0. Y is equal to 0 squared minus 2. The value is that 2. Pero kung may absolute value yan, anong value na? Positive. So, itong point na to, magiging positive. Ayun lang siya. Itataas mo lang lahat ng nasa ilalim. Pag yun may graph. Okay? So, go view to the next video to talk about yung tinatawag natin symmetries of a